Hello everyone, welcome in or welcome back to my channel. So great to have you here. Thank you so much for sharing your time and energy with me today. My name is Amanda and this is a general pick a card reading for the collective. We're looking at the next 3 months for you and we're going to get into a little bit more detail than my usual. So grab a beverage of choice and let's get into it. So as always with these messages, please take what resonates and leave what does not, because these messages are general. They're not going to fit for everyone. Please don't make them fit if you're not seeing some kind of hint or, inkling of what's going on in your life in these readings or in these messages. Check another pile or wait for my next reading. And remember that any predictions or outcomes we discuss here are possibilities only, because we all have free will to make choices and decisions based on what's best for us at the time. And nature is fluid. Life is fluid. So everything is subject to change. Nothing is fixed, which can be good and bad. So we're just getting 3 cards now for the 3 piles. We'll get one more. We'll grab some crystals and then we will get to choosing. I'm using the community tab a little more, so check that out to participate in polls and check out the upcoming schedule for the following months. And I think I'm going to do a little bit of a switch up in April for the schedule, so definitely check that out here. So for pile number 1, we have the Mermaid. For pile number 2, we have the Bubble. And for pile number 3, we have a Forest. If you would like to pick with crystals, let me add those right now. So for pile number 1, we have Lapis Lazuli. For pile number 2, we have Peacock ore. And for pile number 3, we have the Atlantasite. So when you are ready, use your intuition to choose the pile that is calling to you the most. Then head down into the description box below to find the timestamp for your reading, and we will see you over there. Hello, pile 1, welcome to your reading. So you chose the Lapis Lazuli with the Mermaid card. Now you could be looking at making some choices in the next 3 months. I think there is a message here to be mindful, to make sure that the choices, which may be enticing, aren't giving you any sense of illusion, and to not be kind of seduced by good things that might not live up to that particular expectation. So let's look at the energy for the next 3 months for you. I've pre-shuffled the cards. I'm doing that off screen now, just because I want to get right into your messages and I don't want to spend time shuffling on screen. I do that anyways, but I usually like to do one as I get into the reading. So yeah, interesting. Oh my goodness. So we have Temptation, which is the Devil card. There's definitely something here that is going to be enticing you in the next 3 months. And I feel like this might be a bit of an illusion. I think that whatever somebody is enticing you with may not be as hyped up or as good as they are making it out to be. So, definite message of maybe try to avoid temptations that look really good or too good to be true is what I'm hearing, because there's both of these cards are definitely speaking to seduction and being enticed into something that either may not be the best for you or that may be too good to be true. So keep watch. Now what we are going to do, I might have to move some things around because we're going to look at multiple areas in this reading. So we're going to pull some general cards, month 1, month 2, month 3, and then we'll look at relationships, career, and finances. I think we got everything on screen. I might have to move this pendulum out of the way completely. Okay, let's flip these over. So let's look at the general energy for month 1, which is the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. There's a lack of planning here, a lack of looking into the future. There could be a reason for that. You could be resistant to pruning back the trees or letting something go here as well, something that's not working. You could also be making decisions without the appropriate data, or maybe there's some kind of lack of purpose or focus in the upcoming month, in the first month of the solstice here. And again, that can speak to a lack of ambition and not having the motivation to really go forth and do that. Again, could be an external reason for that. There could be some issues of self-worth, of not knowing if you can let go of certain things and be successful in a particular endeavor. Or there's something here that's not getting the attention that it requires. It could be in any number of physical realms, whether it is your physical body. Maybe there needs to be a little more focus on eating well, getting lots of sleep, getting some exercise, or finances could be also needs to come into a little bit of focus as well. There could be some things that could be consolidated, pared back, could be spending and saving as well. But there's definitely in the first month upcoming here, there could be some things that you need to assess or evaluate when it comes to improving or expanding into the future to some degree. In the first month, we're looking here at relationships within your life. I feel like there's a lot of work and a lot of effort being put into your relationships at this time or in this upcoming month here. And I feel like there's a sense of you wanting to work at making some improvements as well. So you're willing to put in the time, effort, maybe even the money to go ahead and do that. There's a sense of hard work and commitment to this improvement. And there's a sense that maybe you desire more within the realm of relationships. Again, that could be friendships, that could be romantic connections, that could be somebody that you're dating, or it could be somebody that you've been in partnership for a long time. So there's a sense of or a desire for improvement and the willingness to put in the work, take the action to manifest what it is that you want to see, to make those improvements. So that's kind of coming in strongly in the month, in this first month of the solstice here. And moving into the career or business, this is looking pretty good. We have the 10 of Pentacles. So if you have been experiencing some kind of downturn, then there could be a bit of a lift coming in this first month of spring here. There's a sense of abundance here and a sense of satisfaction. I feel like you've worked really hard to get to where you are at. There's a certain level of attainment that you've acquired, whether that is skill, whether that is financial improvements within your career or business. You could even be getting kind of being put in the spotlight here, and you have an abundance of inquiries, maybe some new followers or some new people being added to your newsletter. I feel like it's kind of a bug to a light here. So I feel like that if you have been experiencing some kind of downturn over the last few months, then I feel like the next, kind of the first month of spring, you could be seeing a bit of a lift here. You could also be coming to some kind of completion of a project if you're working on a project, if you are working at kind of closing something out. I feel like you're going to be completing that or closing that out in the first month of the spring here. And heading into your finances. There could be something. I feel like you're open to taking a little bit of risk here, but again, I feel like you have to be really cautious coming back to this opening energy about the risks that you are taking. Really check in with the financial risks or investments that you are considering at this time. If they seem a little too shiny or a little too glittery, a little too good to be true, then definitely do a little bit of work and due diligence and don't go into something too blindly because we really don't know where that's going to lead. So there's a sense of something new here, maybe a new prospect, a new offering, a new opportunity to invest in something. So do some due diligence there, because she's got her eyes closed as she wants to take this leap. She wants to take this new adventure and go down the rabbit hole. But there could be a danger in that because we don't know where we will end up, especially if we don't have our eyes open. We don't really know if this is the right hole to be jumping into, or where this specific particular opportunity might lead us. So yes, there's a sense of something new coming in, new business opportunity, or something that you might be able to invest in someone else's business. But again, there's a bit of a risk there, and I'm not sure about the reward, so just be cautious there. And again, that could be kind of the strongest energy coming out here in the opening energy, but we'll get into month 2 now and see what's happening here. So I'm also going to, once I kind of get into reading these, I'm also going to read it up and down, because there's going to be a story here that is going to unfold, I feel. So in this month, we're feeling a little bit lost. We don't really know what things to pare back, what things to get rid of, what things are working and what aren't. Lack of ambition, maybe a lack of motivation to put that effort in to do that. But I feel in month 2, we've got the 8 of Cups, which is you kind of almost coming to the reality, or coming to terms with what it is you have to let go of. And I feel like you're actually taking action. I feel like there's some kind of emotional connection to this particular thing that you're feeling lost with, that you are having to come to terms with emotionally, rather than, it's not just about, okay, let's cut it, let's get rid of it, let's prune it back. You have to come to some kind of realization and acceptance from an emotional standpoint. And I feel you're coming to that in the second month, after maybe some, kind of wandering a little bit to decide how you want to go about doing that. And the 2 of Pentacles can speak to kind of juggling a couple of different things here. Maybe trying to juggle work and play, friendship and relationship. It could be juggling your finances, or making sure that there's an even balance of things happening here. So I feel like there is a sense of you making this transition quite well, and I feel like you've gone from the 7 of Pentacles to only having 2. So there is a sense of paring back here, and a significant paring back, so that you can juggle something. I'm not really sure if you have that feeling right now, where you feel like you have too much on your plate, or you feel like you've got your hands in multiple things, or there just feels like an excess that you're dealing with of something, and you know and feel that you need to make a change, but you just don't know how to go about doing that. I feel you're going to get clarity on that in the second month here, and you're going to come into a better balance. And I feel like with this energy, you are kind of being able to start, you might be able to start, what am I trying to say? I know what I'm trying to say, it's not coming out right. You'll be able to start to plan again. I hope that makes sense. But the planning aspects with the 2 of Pentacles can be, okay, I've got these things. How can we go about keeping that balance? So there's a sense of planning. There's a sense of constantly kind of bringing this into balance here. So I feel like if you have a lack of planning, a lack of foresight on how to proceed and looking out into the future, I feel like by that, the action and the emotional acceptance of paring that back, you'll be able to come into an energy of having more space and freedom to not only balance things a little bit better, but to be able to plan for how you want to expand in the future. The relationships here, And I apologize, I'm not showing these to you. Six of Cups and the Seven of Wands in reverse. So there's a bit of defensiveness, possibly a bit of protective energy here. Maybe, and I don't know if this may only resonate for some of you, but rooting yourself in the past is the biggest energy that I'm getting, and I feel like you're being triggered from something that happened in the past. This could be the reason why you have the desire to improve the relationships in your life, is because you no longer want to live in the past. You no longer want to have this relationship be defined by all of the things that happened way back when. I don't know how far back this goes, but there's a sense of you being anchored to the past to some degree, maybe emotionally, and I feel like you want to take action to move beyond it. But there's a bit of defensiveness here, a bit of protectiveness, and I'm not sure if that's hindering or helping the situation. There may be a sense of, if you are in a connection right now with somebody in a love connection, there could be a sense of you needing to break away, or this other person breaking away to give that space to be able to process something and to let down the guard a bit, because I feel like the stability of maybe what you've built up until now could be compromised for one reason or another. Maybe lessons from the past haven't been able to integrate into the relationship in a harmonious way. There might be some struggles there. And again, it doesn't have to be a love connection either. You can apply this to a platonic friendship as well. If the lessons you have learned, if the lessons have not been integrated from past experiences or mistakes, then I feel like it's really going to compromise and get everybody's defenses up, because there's a protectiveness there. And there's a kind of a self-preservation happening. You don't want to be hurt. So therefore, I'm getting kind of two different messages, and they're not quite aligning right now. But I feel like that's why two cards came out, because there could be something from the past that you're trying to reconcile or trying to kind of move away from. And then there's a sense of defensiveness or a protectiveness that's coming in. And that protectiveness actually might be a physical moving away from that particular relationship for a time, if only to give space and to offer time to process and reflect on what's happening, to know how to move forward. This could also be forgiveness on some level for some people. I'm just going to leave it there, because I don't want to get too specific on that. It could be self-forgiveness. It could be forgiveness for the other person, or the other person's forgiveness for you. So however, which way the pendulum swings on that one, that could be part of the Six of Cups there in reverse, is that there needs to be some kind of forgiveness from past mistakes in order to kind of move ahead and have the stamina and energy to move forward. When we come into career and business, I see there's a decision that needs to be made, and you're at a bit of a crossroads. You're not really sure where to go next. And it's interesting that we have this the 10 of Pentacles, where we have this closure of a completion of something, a completion of a project, a completion of something. Could even be a job that you've retired from, or you have moved away from for one reason or another, and you're not really sure what to do next. So we've got the Two of Swords, which is that crossroad energy, and an energy of not knowing what to do. You're feeling a little bit in the dark. You're feeling a little lost, similar to this energy in month one here, the general energy, where you're kind of wondering, I don't know kind of what to pare back and what to focus on. And there's a bit of a lost energy here, and maybe even balancing the heart and mind. So the heart's telling you one thing, the mind is telling you something else. So it's kind of bringing that together and how to go about doing that here. So again, it could be you've had something has ended in month 1 and therefore has you questioning things in month 2. Again, when we've been working on a project, for example, for a really long time and it finally gets launched, now we kind of don't know what to do with our time because now that project is no longer taking up our energy. It could have a lot of mental effects because of that. We're not really sure what to do with our time. We're not really sure kind of what to think or kind of where to go from here. So there could be a little bit of confusion or a little bit of, I don't know, in month 2 about the career and or the business, however that applies. But for this, it's like gather as much information as you can, and this is kind of a hurry up and wait kind of energy where you have to, as much as you want to move forward and have that decision in your mind, it's kind of, we just have to wait and see how things play out, what kind of opportunities come to you, what kind of things come to mind, and kind of just moving through the energy a little bit until things become more clear. And then finances, we have the 9 of Cups. This is a kind of a beautiful energy of being happy where you're at, being confident and really feeling good about yourself here. So yeah, there's just a feeling of really contentment is the biggest energy here. You're really content with how you feel with your finances. You're able to really engage in what brings you joy, and I feel like you're really kind of settled and content with where you're at. There could be an energy of overwhelm, but it's not in reverse. So I think month 2 is looking pretty good for finances. I feel like you're going to be very satisfied. You're going to feel very fulfilled, and you kind of have everything that you need. So you're feeling emotionally settled and you're feeling quite joyful. So the general energy for month 3, which is kind of the end of spring, we have the 10 of Cups here, which is an energy of, again, emotional fulfillment. It's interesting that we have the 9 of Cups in the finance sector, and then we have the 10 of Cups in kind of month 3. So it's almost like your finances might have a lot to do with how you feel kind of moving forward. It could have pretty significant impact. So maybe that's why there's a bit of an energy of temptation and seduction here, because if we take the wrong turn, then this may not come to pass, right? If we put our money and time into something that isn't fulfilling, that doesn't feel like it's going to offer us fulfillment in any kind of way, then this could take a wrong turn for sure. But in 10 of Cups, this is like not only feeling good about yourself and being content with yourself and your situation, but also being able to share that with others, to be able to kind of spread the love is what I'm feeling here. So again, month 3 is looking very content. I feel like whatever energies are kind of glooming and looming over you over month 1 and 2 are going to finally settle in month 3, and you really have this feeling of harmony and happiness and joy, especially with people and relationships in your life. And in the relationship sector, we have the Knight of Pentacles, which is a very slow-moving energy, my friends. I'm sorry to say, if you are working through something with a friend or a family member or a partner, I feel like whatever this is going to be a bit of a slow go. But there's a sense of focus. There's a sense of being methodical and approach this in a very kind of intentional way, and not to rush through whatever energies you're trying to move through at this time. This is this Knight of Pentacles, he's armed and he's ready to put in the work, but he doesn't want to move through it quickly. He wants to take things one step at a time and one foot in front of the other. So I think in month 3, you're going to start to see some movement again, but it's going to be a little bit slower than what you might want it to be, because I feel you've put in the effort, you have the commitment to moving on or moving into something better and making improvements, but it will be a bit of a slow go. So have some patience here. which I know we all love to hear. But that will make things a little bit easier when we're not pushing and forcing things to be a certain way right now. We kind of move through the energy, one foot in front of the other, and kind of building up. I don't want to say build up strength, but when we get into the court cards, you start at the page, you go into the knight where it's taking action, and then you move into the queen, which is a security, a stability, a great foundation, and then the king, which is mastering that. So I feel like you're that's kind of the process you're moving through within these connections, is that you're moving through an energy of wanting to improve and putting in that work and coming up against a bit of a tumultuous energy and trying to sift through some things, and then getting into, okay, now we need to move on from this. So how do we do that? You do that one step at a time until you get to that stability. And then once you have that stability, you continue to build until you have that mastery of, okay, now we're in a groove. Now we have kind of an equal exchange of energy. We're on the same page. We're working together. We're working as a team. So I feel like that's coming. It's just going to take a little bit of time, okay? And then in the career and business, we have the Wheel of Fortune here, which is a bit of a turn. We've got, and I don't know, I have a feeling this could either be two things. This could be you might be feeling a little bit of, things aren't going so well. And so we've got a little bit of a turn of fortune where things are kind of going sideways and we didn't expect it to be this way. But this could also just be that you're resisting the change that you need to make. Maybe this second month has some clues here. So there's an ending of something or a completion of something. You get into some kind of question, what do I do next kind of energy. And then there is a resistance to change that is kind of happening, whether you like it or not. So it could be good change, it could be bad change, but it's this adaptability that I feel is required in the third month in order for you to start seeing your fortune turn around. And again, that is just to kind of make things a little bit easier. That's not to say that, it's up to you to take control, because a lot of the times, or at least some of the times, some stuff is just out of our control. And I know that it's really frustrating to say, like, if only you did these things, then you'd be this, that, or the other. So understand that the Wheel of Fortune is all about karma and destiny. And I feel like you're being moved into a bit of discomfort in order to discover something, some information, some answers, some new things that you were unaware of. And it's about embracing that exploration and embracing the changes and adapting to the changes that are required in order for you to step into kind of the turn of a new cycle. So keep that in mind, but also understand that there's a lot of things that could be out of your control too. So do what you can, what is within your control, and move through this as you need to. Take your time, do not rush, have patience, especially when we come into this Two of Swords energy. We don't want to be making quick and fast decisions in a place of uncertainty. So it's about gathering information, taking our time to make those decisions. And then when we feel the hunch or the push or the call to make changes and be more adaptable, then it's time to step up to the plate and start leaning into that change, leaning into being a little more adaptable until such time that we can make new choices and other choices. And the Knight of Wands in your finances, I feel there could be a new project or a new job or career opportunity, a new financial opportunity that is really going to excite you, and you want to take action on it really quickly. This isn't as fast as the Knight of Swords, which is like, let's go and not think about anything else. The Knight of Wands is about pure passion. So what is that? Pure passion and ambition and drive. I feel like you're going to get that drive back to maybe improve your finances or adjust your finances in some way. This could have, your finances could be tied, or your financial progression could be tied to some kind of project or job here, maybe even your work. So these two could be quite connected here. And again, taking action through passion, but not so much passion that we've got our rose-colored glasses on and we're not seeing when we're getting into shark-infested waters. So I think that the finances, I feel, based on these opening oracle energies, is the thing that you have to focus on a little bit more diligently than the other areas of your life at this time, because there's a sense of risk, there's a sense of adventure, and maybe a little bit too much. And yes, it might be quite fulfilling, but it also might put our blinders up and we're not able to see kind of what's going on with reality of the situation. So just watch for that. But again, it's following the things that fill you up, following the things that bring you joy and bring others joy, and moving towards that with great passion. Not necessarily speed, but we do have some ambition to do more with your finances, and maybe even do more with your finances in an external sense too, where you're helping others. I'm not sure, but yeah, I do feel that these two are quite closely linked, so definitely keep your eye on that there. So let's get a closing oracle card for your reading. Spirit, could you offer us a closing energy card for Pal 1 for their next 3 months? What do they need to know? And I've pre-shuffled these cards, so they are ready to go. What does Pile 1 need to know for the next 3 months? Strongest advice or energy, please. And if one doesn't fly out, then I'll just pick one. Okay. Druid, hold the space. And bottom of the deck for that is Mirror Guardian, take time to reflect. So the Druid he's very wise, and he comes in to remind us to not make any sudden moves or changes at this time. Stand strong, knowing where you are supposed to be, and hold the space for things to unfold. So in other words, don't quickly make decisions just to move away from whatever discomfort or challenges you might be facing at this time. And if you're wondering what to do next, or you have a sense of anxiety about what is unfolding, it's time to shift your perception from what's happening in the outside and move back to a state of trust, trusting yourself that you will face and get through anything that you come across. And there's almost a sense of kind of taking your hands off the wheel at this time. And don't change your plans or do anything drastic, just trust in the process and let everything happen as it needs to before taking any further steps. And think of a tree. It has strong roots, yet continues to grow and bear fruit. And your life will be a reaction to this. So, yeah, I think that really kind of sums up the reading quite beautifully, and hopefully sums up the next 3 months for you, is to hold the space to think, to consider, to take your time and process, to make sure you're not being reactive or moving into something that isn't for your highest good or your best interest. So again, with that 7 of Pentacles energy, take a step back to see what's working and what's not. Hold that space to be able to really allow the answers to come to you as things unfold, and move through the energies as best you can. Collect data, collect information, that's always helpful. And take your time over the next 3 months. There's no rushing here, dear Pal 1. So Pal 1, this is what I have for you. I hope something here resonated. If you would like a private reading or sign up to my newsletter, the links are in the description box below. And with gratitude, I'm sending you my love, and we'll see you in your next reading. Hello, Pal 2. Welcome to your reading. So you chose the Peacock or with the bubble card. And I sense that you want to have a little more fun. Have a little more of a good time and instill a little more play in your life. That could be something you're exploring in the next 3 months. So let's see what your what the energy. Let's pull another energy card. And I had to move my pendulum because we ran out of room in pile 1. And we're going to run out of room because of the cards that I'm going to be pulling today, or the number of cards. It's going to be a little more extensive than my usual, trying something new. So, Spirit, could we get an energy card for pile 2 for the next 3 months? The energy surrounding them in the next 2 months, please. Ooh, I got a little flip in my tummy. So I'm feeling quite excited. I feel quite joyful. Let's see what comes out. Energy card for pile 2, please. Oh, interesting. We have the Solitude card with the number 9. This is the Hermit energy in the traditional tarot. So this could be an energy that you're in right now. You're a little bit of a hermit mode, and maybe Spirit's encouraging you to go out and have a little fun. You could even be gaining some kind of soulful insight in this hermit energy. This hermit energy could also be the catalyst for instilling a little more play in your life as you explore the things that you once enjoyed. Make sure that's in there. So I've pre-shuffled all the cards so that we can just get straight into your messages. We're going to do first row is month 1, second row is month 2, third row is month 3, because we're doing the next 3 months. So let's look at the general energy. I'm going to go this way, and then once we get into these other months, then the stories will start making sense this way as well. So, Ace of Pentacles. I feel like there's lots of new opportunities that are going to be presented to you in the next 3 months. And this is the general energy of the next 3 months, and then we'll get into specifics. So Ace of Pentacles, while yes, it's a great opportunity, these are going to be opportunities that you will need to not only commit to, but put work and effort towards. So it's opportunities that could have big payoffs, but they require a certain level of work, certain level of commitment. So definitely keep that in mind if and when these opportunities come to you. These could be in physical forms, could be new jobs coming your way, maybe a new career opening or a job position that's opening that will require you to put in some time, maybe a bit of, there could be a learning curve here as well. This could be new financial opportunities as well, which again might need a bit of effort in terms of trying to keep things balanced and kind of staying on the pulse or staying on the ball with things here. When we come to relationships, I feel like you've lost a bit of love for relationships. You've lost a little bit of fire and passion, motivation. Maybe this specifically speaks to romantic relationships, but it could speak to platonic relationships, even family relationships as well. There's a bit of a lack of motivation here to start something new, to start again, to continue on. I feel like there might be an opportunity to do so, but you just don't have the fire and the desire or the ambition to do so. And I'm not really sure why. It could be because of this hermit energy. You're feeling a little introspective at this time. You really don't want to kind of do the dating thing. Maybe you are feeling a little lackluster in your kind of long-term commitment if you're in one. But I'm getting a strong kind of singles energy with this and a lack of wanting to date. You don't have the passion for it. And if it's in a long-term relationship, maybe the passion feels like it's died. But I feel like it's finding those opportunities to reignite the spark. And it could be simple as kind of leaning into your joys a bit more, having a bit more fun with it, and being a little bit more playful, maybe not so serious and kind of focused on a specific outcome, but just focused on having a good time. Could be something there for somebody, but not for everybody. The Four of Swords in the career business sector, there is an indication of kind of taking a time out here. You could have experienced some disappointments or frustrations in your career or business. Things aren't moving the way you want them to. You may have even lost a job, possibly. So, or you could have closed a business. So there's a lot of hurt and pain that comes with that, and that needs to be recovered and healed from. So I feel like whatever you're trying to achieve or push towards or strive for, there could be an energy of you trying to, or you needing to take a step back. Again, I'm getting a strong connection with the Hermit energy here. So taking a time out, that doesn't mean, stay in bed for 5 days or anything. This is just taking a time out from your usual routine and maybe finding ways to de-stress or to relax and to rejuvenate your energy here, because something I feel maybe happened in previous months that has really been challenging. So it's time to kind of switch gears here just for a little bit. In the finance sector, we have the Death card, which speaks to transformation. Whenever something ends, a new beginning can emerge. So this is a major arcana as well. So there could be a significant change in your finances. This isn't going to be for everybody, but there's a sense of bankruptcy if you are currently moving through that energy. I'm not predicting anybody is going to be going through bankruptcy if they're not currently in that energy. But there could just be a simple shift in maybe not spending as much. And you're having that hermit energy with your finances as well, where you're really pulling back and you're making a significant shift in your finances, where you're ending some kind of something that's not working and you're moving towards something that is working. So it could be cutting out finances or cutting out maybe certain investments, or maybe cutting out the spending that you're doing on certain things so that you can have a fresh financial start or feel a little more secure. And when we go through bankruptcy, and I've experienced a level of that in my life, it does allow you to start again. It's stressful, it's frustrating, it's it's very emotional. It's an emotional journey. It's very stressful, and there's a lot of shame that can be tied to that. So I feel like there's also, if you are currently moving through that, I'm very sorry. But there is beyond that, and I can tell you this because I've experienced this to some degree. There is an ability to rebuild and to start again and to start anew and to start fresh. So when there's a significant ending to something, then again, it allows a new beginning to emerge. So that's what I'm feeling, is a significant transformation that's happening in your financial sector in month 1. And it could just be as simple as changing your habits and behavior on how you save and spend. Simple as that. On the extreme, it could be that you are moving through some kind of more challenging difficulty when it comes to finances, and it completely changes or shifts your finances altogether and has a significant impact on your finances. So one extreme to the other, it can vary. So take whatever resonates and what you might currently be experiencing right now. But I feel there's a new opening here for your finances to improve. There's just a bit of discomfort and darkness before you get there. So month 2 here, we have the Five of Wands and the Justice in reverse. So there's a resistance to making some kind of adjustment or not looking at the consequences of your choices. There is some sense of scattered energy here, maybe even disagreements, maybe a little bit of chaos. There could be some people around you or some situations around you that are, there's lots of movement, lots of energy, lots of arguments about how to go about best approaching a situation or how to best problem solve or reach a goal here. So there's a bit of tension here, and there's a feeling of you not being able to find some kind of balance, find some kind of harmony, and maybe even making the adjustments that you need to right things again, to make things feel a little more balanced. So month 2 feels a little challenging. And there's some contracts that might be negotiated. So if you're dealing with contracts or will be dealing with contracts, there might be some that there's some kind of disagreements on, or some challenging energy surrounded with that particular contract. So keep your eyes open there, just to be sure that you're prepared for that. When it comes to relationships, we have the Nine of Cups in reverse. So something is still feeling a little bit lackluster. It didn't turn out the way you wanted. It just isn't fulfilling for you. I'm not really sure if, again, coming back to this joyful energy, are you having fun with the people that you're connecting with? Again, this energy could be the reason why you're not having fun. So take this with a grain of salt, because there could be external factors affecting this Nine of Cups. There could be a very good reason why the relationships in your life are feeling a little bit unfulfilling, a little bit lackluster, like you can't get what you want, emotionally speaking. But there's always an opportunity to explore that for ourselves. If we're not getting it in the external world, how can we find joy and fun and playfulness and fulfillment within our own lives for ourselves? So that might be taking ourselves on a coffee date or going to, movie by ourselves. Spending time by ourselves might be a little bit challenging, but I think, spending time by ourselves can really help us learn about who we are, what we like, what we don't like, what we need, what we want, etc. So give it a try, and that could be a suggestion there for somebody. And then we move into the career and business for month 2 here. And there's a sense of stamina here. Like you are going to achieve and do and be, you're going to manifest no matter how hard you have to try. So there's this real energy of fighting for what you want. You are willing to put in the put in the work, the effort, and have the desire and ambition to move things along here. So I feel like you're coming back with a great energy. You move from the 4 to the 7. So it's like you're right out of the gate in month 2, because you've had a little bit of a timeout, a little bit of rest, that you're now willing to, or you have the energy to be able to move the needle a little bit more in month 2, as you come into an energy of kind of standing up and fighting for what you want and having that stamina to do so. And I also feel you have a little bit more focus now that you've possibly taken a time out. You've maybe gleaned a little bit of insight into how to proceed. So it's like, again, a horse out of the gate. You have a focus, you have a purpose, and you're willing to, you have the determination to find success in this career or a business arena here. And in the financial sector, we have the Eight of Wands, which is really fast-moving energy. So I feel you could be dealing with a lot of communications here, could be a lot of, I don't know, paperwork. or just in general, a lot of back and forth communications with people. But it's interesting that we have the Seven of Wands in the business and career, and then we have the Eight of Wands in the finances. So whatever you're doing in the business and career sector might improve your finances by a significantly. Because the Eight of Wands is a super fast-moving energy, and it is, again, focused. It is manifestation energy. So whatever work you're putting in here might be manifesting in your finances to the point where you see improvement really quickly. There could also be travel here, so you could be traveling for work or maybe spending money on traveling at this time. And again, I feel like that decision to take a vacation or to travel somewhere is going to happen really quickly. But there's just a lot of action here, a lot of fast-moving action, a lot of momentum. So continue to build up on that, because I feel like that's a really good energy for you in the financial sector. General energy in month 3, we have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. So again, we have a little bit of disconnection with expanding on maybe the physical aspects of our life, or we're not seeing growth in the physical aspects in our life. So again, that could be finances, that could be our physical well-being. We're not seeing growth or progress there. If you're working on a project, we're not seeing progress there either. And could be a disharmony with teammates or people that you're working with, even people around you that you're trying to kind of work in tandem with to see progress and to see things grow. And this could be due to outside influences as well. So definitely keep that in mind. And yeah, there could be again, there's some kind of lack of focus here, or maybe even some kind of tension between people that you're working with. So that could come back to this energy here. So yeah, let's get into the other areas now and see if that kind of plays out. We have the Tower card in the relationship sector, and it's in the reverse position. So I feel you're going to come to a point where you've decided to make some significant changes in maybe your perspective, how you're feeling. The foundations of what you have built something on is coming down. And this could be because of your lack of a motivation, your lack of passion for the relationships you either currently have in your life, again, platonic or love relationships, and you're making some significant shifts. It could be within you, and you're deciding, okay, this mindset, this way of doing things, this belief system is no longer working for me, so I'm just going to tear the whole thing down and start fresh. There's a feeling of, I'm tired of doing and feeling this way, so I'm going to make some shifts. And this could be a shift that is needed in order to see new opportunities that are more fulfilling and more passionate. And I think you may come to some realization here in the 3rd month where, I have to change how I perceive things, how I look at myself, how I act, how I kind of treat myself. And that needs to be improved before we can find satisfaction and fulfillment with the relationship with others. And this could also be you deciding to walk away from people and places and environments that don't make you feel safe, secure, stable, or give you a sense of firm foundations. So this could be you cutting out certain people in your life. This could be you deciding, I want a different lifestyle. I no longer want to do this thing that, me and my friends do. I want to do something else, try something different. So I really feel like you're taking action here, and the action is going to be big, significant, and possibly change the outlook of your relationships moving forward, or at least how you show up in the relationships moving forward, which could be a great thing. So we have the Seven of Swords in the reverse position, and in the upright, this can speak to cutting corners or trying to take the easy way out. But I think you may not be doing that. I think you're opting for something that might be a little more truthful and maybe a little more patient. I'm not sure. But this also could speak to, because it's in the reverse, a lack of focus or planning as well. So we've got the Seven of Wands in the previous, which is very focused energy, but something might have brought you out of that in month 3. So definitely kind of be on guard for that. and it might make you want to maybe do things differently or try to find a more efficient way of doing something, but that might not necessarily be the most appropriate strategy or plan. So some more significant strategies or plans might be required in month 3, especially if you're feeling a lack of focus or a lack of clarity in how to move forward. And this could also be maybe a fear of failure. So check in with that. You could also be moving into some sort of truth as well. So you're no longer kind of keeping things to yourself, or kind of moving through an energy of betraying yourself. I feel like you might be moving out of that, and you're really coming into some truths here. And then in the financial sector, so interesting. We go from the 8 of Wands in month 2, which is really fast-moving energy and really very focused and determined energy, to the Knight of Pentacles, which is the slowest moving energy in the deck. But again, very focused, very meticulous, very methodical, one foot in front of the other. So you could have a real surge of energy in the second month, and then you'll see a bit of a slowdown in month 2. And it's just kind of, ticking away one thing after the next. So don't think that the speed at which money might be coming in, or money might be created for you, or opportunities, don't think that that's going to be a forever thing, because especially with fast moving energy, it can die quite quickly once it kind of hits the ground, once it's kind of burned out. So that's an energy to be mindful of there. But it's nice with the Knight of Pentacles, because it not only slows down, but it's still there, and it's starting to build a foundation for you. And it's allowing you to really build on what it is that you're creating in the financial sector. So yes, you might have an influx of customers or cash or bonuses, or you might even do some traveling and dip into the savings for that. But I feel like the slow and steady of a rebuild is kind of the message in the third month of, yes, you might have that influx, but it's not going to stay that way forever. Just make sure that you continue to build on that success, and kind of don't take that for granted, I'm hearing. Or take this for granted, at least. It's building on what you've built in a slow and steady pace. So don't expect kind of an overnight success. Expect kind of a slow burn after this kind of influx happens in the second month here. So let's get you some an ending energy card here. So I just wanted to connect these, because in pile 1 it was very connected to a specific sector. This one, I feel, is really connected to your relationships. So I feel like your relationships are going to be a big focus in the next 3 months. You could be moving through kind of a personal transformation when it comes to relationships. And I think the biggest message in the bubble is to have a little more fun and be a little more joyful, if only with yourself for a time. So that, and again, it might require a little bit of a stepping back energy, or kind of a reflective, introspective energy to really get to that place. But I really feel like spending time with yourself to be able to have some reflection and introspection is going to be kind of important, especially when we get into the second month of this conflict and a little bit of, maybe miscommunications, or possibly working out contracts and trying to get things in balance again. This could be a pretty chaotic month here for month 2. Medicine Mother, honor your inner knowing. So this is basically taking action based on how you feel, and using that inner intuition to guide you. It's kind of that saying, like, mother always knows best. It's that internal wisdom of we know what's best for us. It's just a matter of taking action towards that. And it's perfectly okay to make mistakes and get things wrong in life. We all go through that. We all experiencing that. But it's how we integrate those lessons and to make improvements for the future. It's not about being defined by these experiences. So that could be another message as well, is to not be defined by your mistakes, or let these mistakes or the things that happened in the past define your future. And it is okay for things to come to an end. It's just the end of another chapter and the beginning of something new, like we saw in the Death card here. And even the Tower card. It makes space for the new to come through. And this could be a month of you looking at patterns and being able to dispel those patterns, to change those patterns and do things differently. And this card does encourage one to love and respect yourself enough to take the steps you know you need to take to move closer to where you'd like to be. You may have been using delaying tactics or holding back, but you're now being guided to take action, and action requires courage. But you have that courage within you. Just take one step, like the Knight of Pentacles. It's that one step and building up on that step and those successes that come with it along the way. And when you do that step, the next one will appear. So again, it's trusting yourself, trusting your inner guidance as you move through challenging times and discomfort. Have fun and enjoy a little bit of playfulness along the way. And also don't forget to take some time out when you need it. You don't have to continue to push, and just continue to push along. We do need to have a good balance of that. So that could also be the Justice card as well, where we need to make certain adjustments within our own habits and routines so that we can show up and not be affected by whatever's happening in the external world that might feel a little chaotic. So this is what I have for you, Pile 2. If anything resonated, please let me know and like this video. Private readings and newsletter sign-up links are available in the description box below. And with gratitude, I'm sending you my love, and we'll see you in your next reading. Hello, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading. So you chose the Atlantasite stone with... Sorry, I had to cough. The Forest card. And forests are all about diversity and abundance. And so I wonder how you can multiply or amplify or diversify what it is that you're doing. That could be something that you are working towards over the next 3 months, or some kind of suggestion to work towards in the next 3 months. We'll see what the rest of your cards share with us. I've pre-shuffled your cards. We're going to get an energy card, another one, for the next 3 months for Pile 3. Message for Pile 3 for the next 3 months. Thank you. Patience. I kind of love that paired with that, because, trees don't grow overnight. They take decades to grow big and strong, because they need to, everything that grows has roots. So it's deepening the roots first before we're able to grow tall and strong. And so patience is required with that. And this is the Temperance card in the traditional tarot. So again, coming to that acceptance of the process of ebb and flow, and kind of experimenting with things to kind of get that process just right, and being patient in that. So the first row of cards that we're going to pull is going to be month 1, the energies surrounding kind of general energies. We're looking at relationships, career, or business and finances. And we're going to do first month, second month, and third month. We're going to do something a little bit different this time. So I'm going to read all of month 1, And once we get into month 2 and 3, then they'll all start telling a story this way as well. So month 1, general energy is the 5 of Wands in reverse. I really feel like you're walking away from drama in month 1. There might be some contentious or tension around you with other people at this time. This could be an internal conflict as well that you're managing in the first month of spring here. So it's either you're walking away from external drama or removing yourself from external drama, or you're feeling a little bit of internal tension within yourself, possibly some conflicted energies. I'm not sure what that might be in regards to, but again, it could be either one of those things there. When we get into the relationships aspect, we have the Ace of Cups. Now, in the upright, this is a new beginning in love. But there's a sense of maybe not wanting to start fresh, of not wanting to start new, not wanting to maybe put in further work to have that new start with somebody, or you just don't want to have a new start with anybody, period. Maybe there's a lot of focus on self at this time, and you're maybe feeling a little drained in your current relationships. So there could be a sense of pulling back and maybe fostering the relationship with yourself. We have the Queen of Cups in the upright for the career and business. I feel like you're really kind of emotionally attached to whatever it is that you're doing, and you feel really fulfilled with the career that you're in, the job that you're in, or the business that you are creating or building. I feel like it offers you a lot of fulfillment. There's a sense of you really having a beautiful balance and feeling really nurtured by what it is that you do, feeling very, just fulfilled. And there's an emotional stability here that's really quite wonderful. I feel like you really lead with your heart and your very open-heartedness. So you could be a social worker. You could be in the healthcare industry somewhere where you are helping yourself. You're helping others, but I feel like you're also doing a wonderful job in nurturing yourself as well from an emotional standpoint. So you could be doing other things in your personal life that is really allowing you to show up in your business, your work, or your career in a very emotionally balanced way. In the finances, we have the High Priestess. So there could be some things that you are unaware of. Maybe you could have some intuitions about it, but I feel like you need to bring some things to light here. There is a sense of you maybe doing something in secret in terms of your finances. So you could have, I don't know, a secret savings account, or you could be secretly investing in something. Or you could have an intuition about something regarding your finances. And I feel like the High Priestess is kind of letting you know to follow that intuition of when it comes to your finances, especially if you're in business and you're feeling a little bit, unsteady with the market or the economy at this time. I feel like the intuition is going to be the key to improving or maintaining your finances here. There could also be something that you're not seeing in regards to your finances. Could be related to business. Don't let anybody take advantage of your kindness, is what I'm hearing there. And again, there's a certain level of intuition here. I feel like you're a very sensitive person. So you might even be really tapped in and tuned into your intuition. And you could have, I feel like you already know something about your finances, but you feel, I don't know, maybe you question it. Like, is that really the truth? I'm feeling like you need to dig for more information when it comes to your finances here. And that could be somebody that's managing your finances isn't doing a great job, or there's something hidden. There's something that might be hidden here that needs to come to light. Don't know what that is. I might have to come back to that one, because that's an interesting one in the financial sector. Either that, or it's saying use your intuition to manage your finances rather than maybe looking at logic. Logic is a good way, but also tap into that intuition as well. So the general feeling for and the energy surrounding month 2 is financial security or some kind of stability within your physical life. So it could be you're trying to get a handle on your health. Maybe you're trying to implement a little more exercise into your life, or you're trying to change your diet for one reason or another. This could also speak to financial stability, where you're trying to get your finances in order. And it could have a connection to business, work, career, and or finances, the financial sector. So that could help kind of clarify things in the second month, where you're able to find that stability and that security. Again, watch what you save and spend. And there's an external, I don't know if there's an external energy or secondary energy in this High Priestess, but I really, I'm getting a bit of red flags with these two. So definitely in month 1 and 2, just be mindful of your finances. And then in the relationships in the relationship we have a World card, which is a pretty significant change here. And I feel like a chapter is closing. Could be a karmic cycle that you have with somebody. It could be however you're feeling with, relationships in general, is that something here is finally kind of coming to an end, where you're done with a certain way of doing, or maybe even done with a specific relationship in your life, and you really want to make big changes to be able to find more fulfillment in your relationships. So you're making these shifts, even when it comes to how you feel about yourself, and and kind of fostering that relationship with yourself. I feel like you're really kind of stepping into that a little bit more in the second month, as you come to some kind of realizations in month 1 that you're now taking action in month 2. And this could even indicate travel. So you could be traveling somewhere where maybe you meet somebody, because where you're currently at, what you're currently doing is not working. It's not feeling fulfilling. It could even feel a little bit overwhelming or stressful. So you kind of want to get yourself out of a specific situation. And so you're moving, there's a sense of movement away from that. And I feel like it's going to be relatively permanent, because it is the World card. It is the end of the major arcana. And that's a pretty significant shift or change that you might experience there. So 6 of Swords is in the career and business. There's a sense of you moving away from and using and tapping into or connecting with your higher self in order to be able to do that. So again, that intuition is coming in, where we're kind of facing or connecting with that higher self in order to make decisions. Because our higher self sometimes, if not most of the time, knows best, because we know what we want to do and we're just nervous about taking action because it doesn't make logical sense. But I feel there's a bit of a mindset shift happening in the business sector, in the career sector, where you might be moving away from some chaotic energy. We have some chaotic energy with the waves in the background, but I think you've done a really good job in month 1 of really like turning your back away from it and just focusing on how you can kind of create balance within yourself and with your own circle of concern, of what you can control. But it might get to you in month 2. So this is kind of you, maybe again, we get movement and transition of moving away from chaotic energy and moving into something that is a little more calm. And that might require a little bit of a mindset shift. And it could take time to transition from something to another thing. And in your finances, we have the Justice card, which is an adjustment card. It rights wrongs. It, cause and effect. There are some choices that you're making, I feel, that are good choices, that are kind of turning things around, that are kind of turning things right again. So whatever decisions that you've made in the financial sector in month 1, I feel are bringing things back into balance in month 2. And you could also be dealing with some contracts. So you could be signing some new contracts, which could bring some money in. You could also be dealing with the legal system, and in which case I feel like you could see some positive results here. But again, you've made some adjustments, maybe even tapped into that intuition and followed it to the point where it's now you've been able to make some choices that may not make logical sense, but they make intuitive sense. And because of that, you're making new choices based on that. You're following that intuition, and it's bringing things back into some kind of balance here. So month 3, we have the Fool card. So I feel you're going to start to feel a little bit more adventurous. You're willing to take a few more risks, and you're really getting curious about what else there is. So there's this expansive energy in you wanting to take a new journey, you being really open to exploring new things to get out of your comfort zone. But there's also an element of risk with that as well. So I think you're really opening yourself up to taking that risk. So just be mindful of that you're not doing things blindly to the point where you're not seeing things for what they are. You're not checking in with that intuition or that logic to be able to know that you are not going to reap any negative consequences because of that. And if there are consequences and those consequences are ones you can deal with, then great. But just kind of check in with that, because the Fool energy can be a little bit kind of tuned out and a little bit of a waif. So they can get themselves into a little bit of trouble if they kind of approach the world with that childlike joy and not consider at least the consequences that might happen because of that big leap that you're taking. And I do feel that it will be a big leap that you're taking in month 3. So but yeah, just take in as much information as you can there to ensure that you kind of know the consequences going in. The 3 of Pentacles in the relationship sector, I feel like you just don't want to there's a sense of lack of teamwork here. So that could be because you don't want to kind of work something out with somebody, or that things aren't just working out generally, where other people aren't willing to put in they're not willing to step up and put their work into things to improve things or expand or grow the relationship. So I feel like there's really kind of a disconnect when it comes to teamwork and collaboration in the sector of relationships. And maybe even a lack of not knowing the long-term goals with the relationships. So maybe checking in with the goals that you want to attain within relationships, and what is it that you're after, and how can you go about obtaining that, and what do you need from the other people to be able to maintain that, and to bring equal energy to the relationships in your life. In the career and business sector, we have the 9 of Wands, which is, a real sense of you putting in a lot of work, and you've built something up to this point. You've put a lot of hard effort into it. You've maintained a certain level of boundaries to be able to do so. There's a lot of determination and will behind this, and you really have worked hard to build and create the career or business that you really want. I feel like that's part of this effort here, where you've chosen to move away from certain things and into other things that might feel more fulfilling or a little more aligned with your passions, and I feel that you've done that. But there is a warning with the 9 of Wands that we need to maintain a certain sense of balance with that passion and ambition, because too much of that and we get into burnout mode. So just check in with the responsibilities and the to-dos and all the things on your plate. Delegate if you need to, in order to bring things back into balance there, and to not push yourself into that 10 of Wands energy where we've got so much on our plate, where this progress is really slowed down, and we're putting too much on ourselves to the point where we can't show up as our best selves in that particular role or that particular job or even our businesses. So good for you. I congratulate you on that success. You've put in that hard work, but just be careful of balancing that energy so that there's not too much fire to the point where you get burned out here. And in the financial sector for month 3, we have the 5 of Cups, which is a sense of disappointment and wanting things to be the way they were. But whatever has happened in the financial sector, it could be related to this justice. You want things to be the way they were. There's a level of disappointment and regrets and sadness here. But there's 2 full cups on the ground here. So again, this could be related to This could be related to relationships or connected to relationships in some form or fashion. This could be opportunities that you've invested in that didn't quite work out the way you thought. And so there could be a little bit of grief as some things kind of fall down or disappoint you or don't work out or don't succeed. But there are still opportunities around you that I feel that are available that will not only fulfill you, but allow you to continue to follow some kind of passion here and allow you to build up on your finances. There could also be some things that you're investing in financially that aren't paying off. And so instead of trying to make those things work, focus on the things that are working here. This could also just simply tie into you might have a little bit of a setback, or maybe some opportunities that didn't come through that you thought were solid. But I feel like there are more opportunities to come. So it's just a matter of not focusing on those things that didn't come to be. You can definitely try to make those things work out, but don't put too much of your energy into something that may not work out ever. So there might be a sense of loss, a sense of grief, a sense of regret. I shouldn't have done that. But try not to stay there for too long. It's okay to have those emotions and to work through that. But I feel like there's some new opportunities ahead. So don't forget that this isn't the end of the story. It is just the end of those particular opportunities. So let's get a card to end your reading. Final card for pile 3, please. What do they need to know for the next 3 months? What do they need to know? Thank you. Mirror Guardian, take time to reflect. And bottom of the deck is Summer, bask in joy and light. Okay, so interesting that Summer was at the bottom of the deck because Summer is going to come after this 3 months. So Summer, you could see a pickup in opportunities, and you could see kind of things feeling a little lighter. But I think this is the time to reflect on things that you want, and maybe even reflect on those little intuitive hunches that you're feeling. Sorry, pile 3, my phone died, so I had to restart. We were just getting to the end of your reading here with the Mirror Guardian. Take time to reflect. And I feel like I was saying before, with reflecting on the intuitive hunches that you've had that maybe you haven't taken action on, and also to reflect on all of the work that you've put in so far up to this point, all of the challenges that you have overcome, all of the successes that you've seen, the lessons you've learned, the strengths you've gained because of the challenges in the past. And I feel that is what's really going to help you diversify and see growth in your future. So it's a pretty big message from the ending card here. And there's also a level of patience too, as we take time out to reflect and have patience to let things unfold, to take time out for self, and to be able to spend time doing that and allowing new seeds to bloom, to have patience for that as well. But I feel you've put in a lot of work, and I feel like you will continue to put in a lot of work moving forward. So it's knowing that whatever adversity you might come across, that it doesn't define you, it doesn't define your life. It is just a learning opportunity to adjust and make changes and see improvements in the future. And I also did look at the bottom of the deck. I don't remember if I showed you right away, but Summer, I feel, could be a month for you that could be a little more prosperous, a little more lighter. So yeah, I think that spring is just a time to maybe reflect on what you want to see in the future and how you want to go about taking action. So pile 3, this is what I have for you. If anything resonated, you can comment below, and I'd love for you to like this video. Private readings and newsletter sign-up links are in the description box below. And with gratitude, I'm sending you my love, and we'll see you in your next reading.